Second nature for children in the house. I hope everyone had a great day. My day was absolutely great. Family, I hope everyone is doing well. Now listen, make sure right now, go and subscribe. Let me let bro burn that in. Then we'll get this thing started. We already let him know we recording. We're on and we're getting ready to kick everything off. He's coming in right now. All right, Burnett, you get set. I'm letting you know we are recording. We are recording. So family, make sure you go and subscribe, hit that thumbs up for like, and make sure you share this information with someone because you know someone needs to hear this information. And we're going to go in, we're going to dig deep, and then we're going to get out because one thing I found out that knowledge and wisdom, we don't stay long for it. But if it was entertaining or a game or music or something like that, we'll stay 2, 3, 4, 5 hours for that. But when it's knowledge and wisdom, we don't stay long. So I'm gonna make sure that we jump in, we dig deep, and then we get out. Now we had a subject. Why are we so afraid of change and struggle with the truth? Now I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to tackle that whole topic. So we may split it and do a 2-parter. So because I think by the time we finish, why are we so afraid of change? I think that's a topic within itself. And then we can come back and do why we struggle so much with the truth. But I'll let my guys deal with it how they want to deal with it. But we're definitely gonna start with why are we so afraid to change? Now I'm gonna throw my little 2 cents in. I was gonna throw 1 cent in, but I'm gonna throw about 2 cents in right quick and share, and then I'll bring my guys on and let them give their perspective. Why are we, and we as a people of color, so afraid to change? Now, I like to look at things from history. And I'm looking back in slavery time. We even had Harriet Tubman, if we look at it in history, was trying to take the Negroes to freedom. But the Negro was so indoctrinated into slavery till they was afraid to leave the plantation. And I think over time, that has really hurt us as a people, that we still have that same mentality of some of us are just afraid to change because of fear. Of fear. We just afraid. And I think it comes from slavery. I'll let you guys tackle that a little bit. Which one of you would like to go first? We got Bro D and we got Burnett in the house, of course, my 2 favorites. Which one of you all would like to tackle?
Let D go first because it come off of his list. That's from D's list. So let D go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And Bro D definitely gave me a list, and this topic came off of his list. So we'll definitely let him address this first, and we'll stay with why are we so afraid of change? Bro D, it's on you.
Okay. Well, one of the real heavy ones is indoctrination. We are conditioned. We've been preconditioned and preconditioned. It's just like fitness, in our neighborhoods or just our race, period, in the worst conditions. You covered it a few segments ago and everything. So when you condition from generation to generation, basically it's the new way of slavery. You get in the mind, they don't have to beat us with the whip or put the chains on us anymore. It started out, that's how the religion, they say you had to give a Negro hope. So it started back then, and they had to find a different way to control the slave, besides whipping them and hanging them and all of that, because a lot of things were changing. So you have to innovate. We always have a saying on the street, it's the same game, just different players. So with the man, so to speak, had to come up with a different technique. So when we learned checkers, then they started going to chess. So all of the rules that we learn, they have to switch it up, because, you know, like when Harriet Tubman, and they used to do another thing too, when the slave owner had too many slaves, you know, the modern day, they call it furloughing and laying off. But if he had too many slaves that he could not feed, he would let some of them go free. And a lot of them would actually go up under a tree and starve to death, because they were conditioned for the slave master to provide for them. And we call it a welfare mindset also. You're just used to the man taking care of you. Like, you know, growing up, we stayed in the projects for about 5 years. Back in the day, you had a lot of public housing. So we stayed in Egan Homes, and, you know, some rough jokers over there, and especially, you know, over by what they used to call Hunter Street before MLK. And a lot of people had been staying in the projects for 15, 20, 30 years, man. And then they didn't want to go, because they were paying rent was $15 for some of them. Some people paying $5. They never wanted to better themselves. My mother told me we had a 5-year program, and that was the plan. And that's what we stayed 5 years, 80 to 85, and we were out of there, because everybody don't have that same mindset. A lot of people want to stay on welfare all their life.
Okay, so you saying, and always correct me now if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to pick up what you're saying. So are you saying that we are afraid to change because we are conditioned to be a certain way?
Yes.
Okay, we're conditioned to be a certain way. Now, another thing from that, change comes with a responsibility.
Right.
Like, I have guys that are incarcerated in jail.
Yeah.
And now, do you know, if they change, that means if they get out the system, that means now they got to get a job, they got to pay rent, they got to, you know. But once you're in the system, now the system takes care of you. Right. You understand? So I think a lot of times a lot of us are afraid to change because of the responsibility that comes with changing. Even if we wanted to lose weight, look at that responsibility that you got to carry now, because now you got to change your diet, you got to change your time, you got to change what you do during the day. So I think that a lot of us are afraid, and I think a lot of us are afraid of success. Being successful, I think a lot of us are afraid of being successful. And then on the other hand, I think a lot of us are afraid of change because of failure. That if we try, we may fail at it. You know, so we'll just continue to do what we're doing to kind of just stay safe. I'm scared to change because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of responsibility come with change. And so I'm just gonna stay like I am because it's safe right here. And when we're dealing with the slavery that I mentioned, and you kind of tapped on yourself, when someone is taking care of you, you're afraid to change, because now if you leave off that plantation, now the responsibility is on you. Right. As long as you stay within that plantation, now you got someone taking care of you. And right now in this modern day era, as it just been modernized, when people get on these jobs, then a lot of their dreams are dashed because they're scared to step away from that job to follow their dreams, because they're not ready for that responsibility that they will have to bear. So in 2023, they stay on that job. So it's just like staying on the plantation.
Exactly. And it's safe. It's nice and safe. It's a safe place.
Okay. I just want to see.
And they don't everybody don't want change. Sometimes in theory, they'll tell you they do, but they really, it's a requirement, which is symmetrical, like you said, responsibility.
Yeah, it comes with a responsibility.
Right. Okay. Everybody don't want that because now you got to put some work in. Absolutely. And they don't want to do that part.
All right, I'm going to let Brother Burnett jump in. And share, Burnett, why are we so, especially I'm talking about people of color, I'm talking about my folks who will working to definitely to liberate and to bring up our youth and our children with a different mindset, second nature for children. We're always for children first, coming back trying to work with the adults so that we can have more people helping our youth grow up. What you think, Brother Burnett, about why are we so afraid of change?
I think you can't separate the two, fear and the truth. The biggest lie you can tell is to yourself. And the greatest truth you can tell is to yourself. Okay, if you don't acknowledge your dilemma, your situation, there's no way you'll be able to change that. You got to first admit that, hey man, what I'm doing, where I am, this is not best for me. You got to admit that. Now, if you're afraid, how are you going to admit that and not change? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you keep lying to yourself, your situation, your dilemma, whatever it is, you can stay in it very comfortably.
Okay.
You know, because you're on the inside and it's comfortable to you. But the person on the outside, like we're talking, we look and say, nah, that ain't right. You could do better than that, you know. But you gotta tell that to yourself. You gotta say, look at man, I deserve better than that. And we always talk about tapping in. That comes from within you. Be it your soul, your spirit, your mindset, that comes from you. You know what I mean? You can't make someone want better. You can't make someone do better. You can encourage them, you know. You can mentor them, you can do all of that, but at the end of the day, that change starts with them, you know.
Okay.
It's easy to lie to yourself. It's hard to tell yourself the truth.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, let's take that, Brother Burnett, and let's put it, and let's deal with the fitness, since we always talking about complete wellness, and that's the understanding and education of the body, the mind, and the soul. So we're going to take what you just espoused, and we'll put it, and we're dealing with fitness. Now, we know that we are leading, and especially our ladies are leading with overweight and obesity, and men of color are following right behind them. Now, in order for them to make that change, are you saying that they have to tap within themselves to make that change? Is it so that lets me know that I'm on the right road with teaching the mind, the body, the soul, because if they got to tap within themselves, that means they got to connect that to this. Both have to be working together. They have to be working together. Okay. All right. Okay. Bro D, you want to come back with that? You got anything you want to share?
Yeah, let me piggyback off of that a little bit, brother. It's I have an old slang I used to say, you got to have the right connection to get the right protection. And so that correlates, you know, you say the mind, body, and the
soul.
And the soul.
Absolutely.
And so those three. So what it is a disconnect. Because if you can't connect all three, it's disconnected. If you don't plug up your fan or any device, you got to have power. Okay. So the standard voltage for a house is 240. Okay. So say for instance, if you plug up 2-3 devices and you need 360, something is going to trigger something.
Okay.
You got to know.
Okay.
So you got to have that connection.
Okay.
And we are, as a people, disconnected. Can't get those three together. They might have 1 out of 3. Every now and then you might get 2 out of 3. You know, it's just like baseball. You get 3 strikes, you're out.
Okay.
So if they don't get the 3 connections, it's not gonna happen. And if, like Brother Barnett said, if you lie to yourself, you know, that's the toughest struggle. It's easy for people to lie to everybody else, but when you come to terms with self, you know, there's so many people going through cycles of the same thing and the same thing. They make the same mistakes over and over because they're in denial. They're lying to themselves. I had an old homeboy, I taught him how to drive years ago. And I used to tell him, I said, hey man, you got to quit smoking weed, you know. And then he switched from the weed to the alcohol. And I was like, man, you don't need to drink either because you don't know your limits, you know, and everything. I said, you're an alcoholic and you don't even know it. And so it would have to be bad things to get his attention. You got to get a DUI. You got to lose your job, get pulled over. And I asked him one day, I said, why does bad things have to happen to you to get it? But for some people, my grandmother used to say, an old saying said, that boy don't believe fat meat is greasy. You know?
Hold on right there, bro, D. Hold
okay,
on,
brother.
Hold on right there. Grandma can do one. Yeah, grandma can do one in then. Hold on right there.
One in.
Yeah, hold on right there. Because I want to piggyback on something that you just said. And us, when I say us, I'm talking about people of color. I don't care about, I'm talking about people of color.
I got you.
Why do we have to wait until there's always a problem or we're almost dead for us to make that change? Why do you think it's taking so long for us to get it? Now, watch this right here. And like I said, I want to deal with it from the fitness aspect. I want to stay right there with the fitness aspect.
Okay.
Why do you wait until you 350 pounds? I wonder what's going on mentally for you to wait until you 350 when you was 200, 250, 300, 350. Why do we have to wait so long? Because a lot of times we can't recover from that because of the mindset that it's gonna take to recover. Now, one thing I do understand from working in different fields with us, with the mental health problems that we have, and with us dealing with a lot of trauma from our past. But then here it is, second nature for children, guys like yourself, Coach Barnett, we're coming on now, working to try to help our people in these 3 areas. I'll put out there, if you need my help in fitness, it don't cost you nothing. Hit me up. I'll put out there, if you need to know the right mindset to overcome certain things, to be successful, hit me up. I'll put out there that when we're talking about the spiritual aspects, we don't even have to touch religion. Let's first talk about loving thyself. And very few responses. Why you think we don't accept help when it's right in front of our face?
And start with that lie, man. They start with that lie to self, man.
That's
right now, man. I'm just saying like it is. We don't have any excuses, man.
Okay.
We don't have any excuses, man. You can't tell me, no, man, we don't have any excuses. There's enough information out here. We've been beat down long enough, downtrodden long enough. I don't care what part of the world. We can't say we have an excuse. No, we got enough information. We have a long enough track record, okay? We deserve better. No, I can't make you think that you deserve better. I know I deserve better. Okay? Now it's up to you what you can do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can guide you along. I can give you the pointers, but it's still up to you. It's no more excuses, man. It's no more excuses. No more excuses.
Oh.
And you know what? And I want the family to make sure that they go back and look at the other videos that I put out, because I have a video out about no excuses, and I definitely want everyone to go back and look at that. So Burnett, you really hit it on the head. Right there, there's no excuses. There was a time we used to use, well, you know, the white man trying to hold me down, or this trying to do this, or this trying to do that. We had a lot of excuses. Now we understand. We understand racism exists. We understand certain things now. But now in 2023, there is no excuse for you not to do better. What'd you say, brother?
Yeah, even with economics and finances credit, we didn't know before, but now we know. What are we gonna do now?
We know.
Are you gonna repair your credit? Are you gonna stop spending money that you don't have? Come on, don't get me started. Come on, man. No more excuses, man. Right. No more excuses. No more.
Not at all.
You know what I mean?
Right. And I think one thing we have that they have us so hooked on entertainment to they really can pull the wool over our eyes that, like Brother Burnett say, now there's no excuse. But we rather entertainment, drinking, alcohol, sports, and it's okay to have a good time. But don't let your good time override your responsibility of being the best person that you can be. I have no problem. Brother Burnett, he like to travel, he like to go here. You better enjoy yourself, because you never know when it's your last time or your last day. But one thing I know, that he takes care of himself and he handles his responsibility.
I gotta do that, man.
Right.
Yeah, gotta
there you go.
And so, so I definitely think that a lot of us, and I'm gonna say this right here, a lot of so-called, and I use so-called, a lot of so-called men are not stepping up to the plate to handle the responsibility of what needs to be done for us as a people to go to the next level. We can't wait on the ladies. Men, we got to do better. And I think, like I say, when I go back and when you study slavery, you see where a lot of the mothers would tell their boys and their husbands to just be submissive, because the wives and the daughters, they didn't want to see their brothers and husbands beaten. So they were like, just be submissive. Whatever they tell you to do, just do it, just this. But we're in 2023.
Man, no excuses.
We got to let that old mentality go. I think we're still afraid, and it just has come up through time. And now we have found ourselves in 2023 still within that old system mindset that we got to do better, especially as men leading our families and leading our community. Wow. Okay, so everything is coming from here. And I teach on that, and I hope everyone go back and look at the videos that I've been putting out. Get them to understand that everything starts, your brain, these two hemispheres, is an achieving machine. And if you can't envision, imagine what it is you want to do or what you want to be, you will never get there. And a lot of us have stopped dreaming. We don't understand how the system works, and we're not daring. We're not daring enough to step out and do our own thing. So that's why I understand why Dr. King and Malcolm X had the conflict they had, because Dr. King wanted to integrate. He wanted to put us over into a system where Malcolm was like, No, 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 no. We don't need to go over into that system. We need to make sure that we begin to take care of ourselves. We can do it ourselves. So I see the conflict that they had.
Absolutely.
And I see that us being scared to change took a lot of us, and I see it, over into the Christianity sector, because now it's saying that someone else will bring you out instead of you bringing you out. Now it got us depending. We have to be careful because now it has us depending on someone else. When they came in what the early 30s with the Nation of Islam, which is a religion, but look at the mindset. They was like, hey, we're not Judaism.
Right.
Let the Christian have their thing because that's the white man religion. That's how they put it.
Right.
And they say, we need to be self-sufficient.
Right.
So that's why I appreciate them, because they was like, hey, we need to come together and do our thing. Right. And let me tell you something. It had to be, they killed Medgar Evers in 63. They killed Malcolm in 65. Dr. King, they got him out of here in 68. Fred Hampton, they got him out in 69.
Yeah.
Fellas, we haven't had a true movement since 1969.
That's right.
We haven't had a true movement. And so when I look to see how things are so torn up, us even more as a people, I understand, because when they are dead and gone, we haven't really had any true men to come along and grab a hold to the revolutionist flag and say, hey, let's keep moving forward. And once Dr. King began to change his rhetoric in the early 60s, and he said, I feel like I've led the Negro into a burning building because I should have been teaching him economics and
Right.
Absolutely. And once he began to change his rhetoric, and the system, like, we can't let him join on with Malcolm, because when him and Malcolm started taking them pictures together and started being out there more, that system say, we got to get rid of this brother right here. And sad to say, April the 4th, 1968, they did just what they set out to do.
Took care of it.
So I think that we are afraid, man, because of that slavery mentality we have. They have pulled the wool over our eyes. They got us thinking everything is okay. They got the illusion gone. We're more attracted to social media, entertainment, than handling our business. And like I said earlier, to change, it comes with a responsibility. And we don't want that responsibility. I'm going to leave it right there. We got about 7 minutes. Brother Darryl, you want to take a couple of minutes and close out? And we'll let Brother Burnett close out?
Yeah. One of the things they also changed in the 60s, y'all probably remember this, there was an altercation that Marvin Gaye and Barry Gordy had. And y'all remember the album he made, he talked about war and the bombs, only love can conquer hate.
Hate and all that,
Brother man and all, right. And he told Barry Gordy, I need you to either get with me or get out of the way. But I'm going to do this album. And that was way before, Marvin Gaye's dad shot it and everything. And so what it got us, see, we think everything's good now, but it's not. We're no better. We're better on a certain level than what it was in the 60s. But they fooled us. They bamboozled us, like we've been had and we've been hoodwinked, like Brother Malcolm X said, because now we got more distractions. We got the technology, but we got more distractions. And as long as they keep you worried about food, clothing, and shelter, those three things, that's why a lot of brothers get on these jobs and get comfortable and and they just keep you on the grind. They're afraid, so they just, submit and just, hey, we don't want no smoke. We just be cool, keep your mouth shut, and roll with it.
Okay, so we still, from that right there, we still dealing with 2023,
Yeah.
different time, but the same history mindset.
Yeah.
Okay,
and they
okay,
flipped it a little bit too, though. If y'all notice, now the black women are getting an education, and the black man going to prison. He get a criminal record, so a lot of the jobs he's not gonna get once he get in the system. He gonna get certain jobs, but he won't have the same opportunity that he had before he got in the system. So now it makes money when they knock him in the head and lock him up. It's a business.
That's a whole nother discussion. We'll do another time, but we definitely we definitely gonna chop that up too.
Okay.
But absolutely. All right, Brother Burnett, you want to close us out? We got 4 minutes left.
It just reiterate what I said, man. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself first and foremost. And if 2 and 3 of us moving, that's a movement. You know what I mean? Let it snowball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have to announce anything, nothing. I mean, you can reach and teach people right where we are right now.
Absolutely.
It's it.
Do that. You don't have, you know what I mean? Before you can do that, there's no excuses, man.
Absolutely.
No excuses. Be honest with yourself and trust me. Once you start doing that, your life's gonna change. Your life's gonna change because you wouldn't have no choice but to change. You know what I mean? And once you do that, there go the movement right there.
All right, well, we'll leave it right there. I want to thank Brother Darrell, Brother Burnett so much for coming in and giving your perspective and sharing this information. And it's so important. And I hope that more people can grab a hold and join us and join the movement, especially that we have for our youth and trying to take the adults to another level. I want to thank you guys so much. Now we're going to be back on. Now, I don't know if Brother D and Brother Burnett, y'all got to celebrate Easter. I don't know if y'all celebrate Easter or not.
No. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to come back in the house Sunday night. And we may not give y'all a topic, but we're going to do something around the resurrection since it's Easter. And look at the origin of Easter. We're gonna look at the origin, and we'll see how Constantine connected these days with paganism. So we'll do that Sunday, and we'll set up another time and come back and make sure that we finish this up, because I just topic this. Why are we so afraid of change? And then we'll come back with why do we struggle with the truth? How did that sound?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come. We'll lead this at why we so afraid of change, and then we'll come back. Like I said, why do we struggle with the truth? And we'll do that. We'll get together and we'll set that up. But Sunday, definitely, we'll do something on the resurrection and the origin. You can pull it up, and it's so simple. The origin of Easter. We're gonna definitely do that Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And if anybody would like to join in, make sure that you shoot me an email, snfchildren@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your perspective on anything that we have spoken on tonight. And make sure that you go and subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Make sure that you share this information with someone you know. Either you need it or you know at least 25 more other people who need this information. We're coming to liberate our people. And I want to thank you guys so much once again. I hit you up and make sure that we get us a topic for Sunday, for the Resurrection Sunday. And much love to you guys. And I thank you so much. And I'll holler at you later. Peace out.
All right, brother.
All right, man. My pleasure.
Y'all be good.
All right.
All right.